Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have an exciting one for you because we have the all-new 2024 Segway UT10 Crew. Now, just a quick insert, this is a pre-production model. There'll be a few differences, like your actual model will come to the dealership with a roof. This is the P model, so it'll have half doors. It'll actually have 30-inch CST tires. This one has 29s. We don't have a roof on this one. There's a few things that's going to be different in the visuals for this video, but we're recording this way before they actually get to dealers. With that out of the way, let's talk about this unit. So with this being the P model, you do get, like I said, you'll have half doors, you'll have the roof, although the S model also has the roof. You will get a display. We'll talk about that when we get into the interior. One thing that comes on both of them, which is pretty neat, is this rear bumper. Big heavy duty rear bumper, real big and sturdy for you to be able to step up, get into the bed if you need to. So that's pretty cool. The towing capacity on this machine is 2,500 pounds. I think the cargo capacity for the bed is 1,000 pounds. So really impressive there. This does have an inline twin in it, and it's putting out 105 horsepower. On both of the trim models, whether it's the P or the S, you're going to get a 4,500 pound winch from the factory on this, mounted on this front bumper. Got this big heavy duty bash plate, which is really nice. This is wire rope, but it's a super sturdy looking, real nice winch from the factory, so that's awesome. Just pop this out, slide it out. You've got a accessory power bus bar, which is nice. So you can get a plug with some pigtails and easily connect your accessories like a light bar, sound system, whatever the case may be. Really clean look here, I like that. So fuse box and all, high and tight. This is your relay or solenoid for your winch. Now to put it back on, just slide her back in. Rubber grommet, she's there. It does have a little bit of a roll and arch here, so I guess you consider that high clearance A-arms. But you do get 13 inches of ground clearance from the factory, which is really nice as well. You get beefy A-arms. Looks like the axles seem to be all right, but we'll put those to the test as well. While we're talking about that, we do have four-wheel drive. We have four-wheel drive front diff lock, and then it even has like a turf mode, so you can unlock or lock your rear differential. So that's nice. Totally up to you how you run that. It gives you all the control you need. You do have a sway bar up front, so we'll go take a look at the back, and then we'll get into the interior, which is really nice on the Segway UT10 Crew. You can see back here they have a lot of heat shielding for the exhaust. I know that they talked about how they put a lot of thought and effort into designing the exhaust system on the crew cab here. They wanted to make sure that it had plenty of airflow to get any heat out of this space over here, and they have a lot of insulation there for the cab. So I'll show you that in just a moment. But you do have 2,500 pounds of towing capacity, and we do have a rear sway bar that you can grease as well, and just heavy duty double A-arm rear suspension. And I'll put those suspension travel numbers up on the screen right here. So on the tailgate, I like this feature here, just like on the UFORCE 1000 that I have, single lever there to let that down. Got a big bed box that you can store a lot of stuff in, 4 tie down points, pretty much standard there. You're not missing out on anything with this design, so that's really good. It's really deep though, a little bit deeper sidewalls, so that's cool. And then you have this one lever here to dump the bed. So here's what I was talking about. Now again, this is pre-production model, so there's a few different things that you're going to see that will be optimized or changed on the actual production model. But they have a lot of heat shielding around the exhaust and the headers all the way up and to the head, and then it's got all this extra thick insulation up against what I would consider the firewall or the cab here, so that's nice. It has an exterior spin-on oil filter. They did say they're doing some different changes from what you see here, but it still will have that spin-on oil filter, so it makes oil changes easy. I like that. Then around here on this side, before we dive into the front, I'll show you the inlet for the CVT, because this is a CVT belt-driven machine with clutches. But this is your inlet here, and this is your intake for your engine, big giant air box. And when we get our actual production models, we'll do a whole nother video where we take one out of the crate, assemble it, and we'll really get into the nuts and bolts of this thing and show you kind of how it is with some things tore off of it. Before we go up front and we check out this huge display and everything up front, I'll show you the rear space. Now remember, I'm 6'1", I'm 230 pounds, so I'm a pretty big fella, okay? So for the crew cab, there's a lot of space here. I mean, I can easily step in here, no problem. So that's nice. I don't have to like tuck in to get in here. So a ton of knee space. And as you can see, a lot of leg room, a lot of feet room, big footwell down here. So that's nice. And I like the seating position. So I'm not as straight up. The bottom of the seat, it really hugs around the hips there and really kind of holds you in, and it's comfortable. I like that. There's a lot of padding and place for you to hold on to when things get a little bumpy. And you have these cargo nets here. It's not really a net material, it's a heavy duty thick rubber, and you can put a lot of stuff in there, so that's neat. There's 3 of them for your 3 passengers. Let's check out the center seat here. I'm a big fella, I can fit, but be better for a smaller person to be right here in the center. And most of the time, for those of you that are buying these, you got your kids back here anyways. But if you got a big old kid that's my size, they can fit, no problem. So back here you do get a 12-volt accessory port, and then looks like USB. So it's a double stack, so you got 2 USB ports there to charge stuff. And again, plenty of space. You got 3 cup holders, so that's nice as well. So all you gotta do, lift up, there's 3 grommets on the front here, and then you'll just slide that out. And right here you have a big old storage box that you can remove. It's got a rubber seal around it, so that will keep all of your stuff. If you have extra things that you need to store in there, you can do that, keep it dry, keep it out of any dust and all that. So, and then there's another one just like that up under the passenger seat up front. Then up front, again, plenty of space here. You do have tilt steering, so you can get that way up out of your way, and then tilt her down. I really like this seating position. I don't feel like I'm straight up. It is still a utility machine, so it's not like you're in a X3 or something laid back like this, but it's a comfortable seating position. I like it. So really cool about the P trim model is this huge display. I just turned the key on, gauge cluster is cranking up there. It's got a really cool little B-roll segment for Segway, pretty cool. And then your information cluster here, it's all digital, really nice. And then your big screen here is, I think it's 10.4 inches. It's a monster, man. Something else is pretty cool. Push to start. Real nice. Also, it's quiet, so I'm not having to raise my voice any more than what I was. It's still a twin cylinder, still thumping, but has a nice exhaust tone, but it's still not over loud. It's nice. What's cool about this display, it does have built-in GPS. You'll be able to turn your tracking on, and it'll be able to pinpoint where this machine's at all times. There's a really awesome app. I don't have time in this video to talk about it, but Segway has developed a really nice high-tech, hey, that's what you know Segway for, right? High-tech, futuristic type stuff. Well, they have integrated that into their power sports segment, and with their app and their display here, some really awesome things that you can do. So we got tracking, we've got all kinds of good stuff here with Bluetooth your phone to it, so you can see calls, different things that comes up. You got a radio. There's also speakers aftermarket that we can get, integrate in with this. This is real-time information being put up on the screen for you. This is like a Tesla. Right up here you have the angle of degrees of your machine and how it's positioned, uphill, on the side of a hill and whatnot, so you know when you're getting close to that tip over degree. Not only will you'll be able to see it before you get into a tippy situation, if you know what I mean. So that's really nice. And then also what's really cool is watching how the motor's performing. It really tells you a lot about what your machine's doing while you're out on the trails. There's also a lot of different settings we can get into, but that's enough for right now. We'll get into that more detailed as we do more videos on this machine. With your glove box, you do have to have the key to get in your glove box. So good thing about that is you can lock it, but the other thing is if you don't have your spare key with you, you will have to shut the machine off, get this key out to get into this. So that's a little something, but big, nice glove box that you can seal and lock. This also has power steering, of course, and there's 3 different modes. When we do some actual trail riding, we'll talk about the differences on those, but that's going to be a nice feature to really customize it to the way that you want your power steering to feel, how much feedback you want, and how much assistance you want, depending on the type of driving style that you prefer. That's going to wrap it up. We're going to do some actual driving now, and that'll be in another video, so stay tuned for that. I want to see this thing in action. I want to go put some miles on it. I know Dylan does, and the rest of the crew. So we're going to do that, and we're going to tell you all about how much we like it. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, comment what you think about the Segway. If you're on the fence about them, come to Main Street Cycle and check one out for yourself. We'll have them on the showroom floor here very quickly. They're about to be shipping them out to dealers at the time of this video, so we're excited about that. So come check us out at Main Street Cycle. You can go to our website at mainstreetcycle.com. If you want any parts and accessories, we already have parts and accessories in development right now for Segway. We already have a bunch for other Segway models. This just hit the market, so we're about to get in a hurry. We're about to get to work on developing some awesome accessories for the Segway UT10 Crew. So go to teammscparts.com for that. If you already have a machine, no matter what it is, we probably have something cool for you that you need for your machine. So go check that out, teammscparts.com. God bless you. As always, remember to keep it real. We'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, one more thing to insert in here. It's got a reverse camera, son. Check that out.